Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/entitledpeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. Caught my new housemate sleeping on my bed without my permission, and she says I'm the one disrespecting her? Back in July, I began renting a room that would be closer to my new workplace. It was a 3-bed, 3-bath house, and 2 tenants would be leaving. One of the tenants, let's call her Regina, would continue living downstairs until the end of the year. I had the chance to speak with Regina on the phone to talk about house rules and breakdown of bills and utilities. One of the most important rules she told me was that we weren't allowed to have boys stay overnight. She explained how she's married and that because of her beliefs/culture, she is not comfortable with having other men stay overnight in the house. I told her I respected her beliefs and asked if it was okay if my boyfriend, friends, or even my family come over just to visit or to help me move my things into the house. She told me that it was okay with her to have my boyfriend and male friends come over as long as I told her beforehand they would be visiting. I then explained to her that even though I would not physically be there or move in until August, I am still paying rent starting July because I don't want to lose my spot in the house. Fast forward to the beginning of August. I decided to take a bed I bought at IKEA to the house and have my boyfriend help me build it. I made sure to let Regina know earlier that day and updated her when I was close to the house. Meeting her in person for the first time went by smoothly, and she even gave us snacks and drinks as refreshment while we were building my bed. Before leaving, I wanted to lock my room door, but noticed that the previous tenant forgot to leave me the keys to my room. I decided to just ask my landlady for a spare key the next time I saw her, and left the house. 2 days after, I had an HR/new hire appointment at my work, so I thought it would be good to drop off some stuff into the house since I would be in the area. Again, I asked my boyfriend to come with me. We decided to stop by the house first before heading to my workplace. This time around, I texted Regina 5 minutes before arriving to the house, which I understand I should have informed her way earlier. We open the front door, and the first thing we see is an air mattress blocking the door. After pushing it aside, we see an absolute mess in the living room/common area. It literally looked like a tornado flew in the room. We see food, clothes, and trash all over the floor, table, and couches. Then when we walk up the stairs to go to my bedroom, we find my door completely wide open with someone sleeping on my bed. Their back was facing me, and a bunch of stuff scattered or hanging in the room. I didn't feel comfortable walking in there, even though it was my own room. I felt so shocked and disgusted that I ran downstairs to see if Regina was in her room. I walked towards her room and find her bedroom door wide open and see someone else on her bed, which I assumed to be her mother or grandma. I tried asking her where Regina was, and she says in broken English, "Sorry, I don't speak English." So I take out my phone and call Regina. Not a second later, I hear a phone ringing from upstairs. I quickly try to walk upstairs, but Regina pops her head out before I could completely go up the stairs to my room. I then noticed that the shirt Regina was wearing was the same shirt the stranger that was sleeping on my bed was wearing. Turns out, she was the one in my room and sleeping on my bed. She tells me to wait downstairs because she's not wearing anything else besides her shirt, and since my boyfriend is here, she is not comfortable walking downstairs to talk to us. I patiently wait, and then I hear a door upstairs close shut. Regina then calls me on the phone and says I can go upstairs now. All the stuff that was in my room was gone and moved into the room next door. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to confront her right away since I was going to be late to my appointment at work if I stayed. After my HR appointment, I gave my landlady a call and told her everything that happened. She told me that what Regina did was unacceptable and disrespectful since she violated my privacy. I asked her if it was okay that I change my door lock entirely and that I give her the spare key afterwards. She said yes, and so my boyfriend and I drove to Home Depot to buy a new lock and screwdriver to assemble it. We even bought Lysol spray and Clorox wipes to disinfect my room and bed. COVID still exists, guys, so better safe than sorry. When we got to the house, Regina and the family member were nowhere to be found. We quickly changed the door lock and disinfected my room. The landlady's husband then came over to pick up the spare key to the new lock we installed. Before leaving, I made sure to lock my room door this time. An hour later, when I got back home, I called Regina to talk about the incident. However, before I could say anything, she says, "Hear me out and let me explain myself first." I let her talk. She starts off saying how she was scared that she would be alone in the house, so she called her mom to stay with her to keep her company and to help clean the house, since the previous tenants apparently left the house messy and dirty. She then says her grandma also came, but suddenly got pneumonia, and so they had to take her to the hospital to get treated late that night. She explained how she got back to the house early at 2 a.m., and since her grandma was recovering, Regina told her grandma to sleep on her bed while she went to my room to sleep on my bed. She then said, "After hearing my reasons and knowing that it was an emergency, I appreciate it if you would be flexible and understanding of my situation." I then expressed how I felt sorry about her grandma's situation and that I hope she recovers well, but shared how I felt disrespected and shocked that she did not even consider asking me for my permission to go into my room and sleep on my bed, especially when we are still living in a pandemic. She butts in before I could say anything else and says, "Well, all you had in there was your bed, and you weren't gonna move in until later anyways." I explained to her how I've been paying for rent since July, and that technically I can move in whenever I wanted to. I also told her that she could have slept in the living room and that I saw an air mattress in the house that she could have slept on. Regina continued to make excuse after excuse, and so I told her that this could never happen again and that I just wanted to hear her say sorry because of how violated and disrespected I felt. She then says, "What do you want me to do? Pay for a new mattress or bed? I can give you money if that's what you want." I completely lost it here. I told her I didn't want her money and that I just wanted to hear a genuine apology from her. She then complains how I disrespected her by bringing my boyfriend over without letting her know beforehand. She says how she's so flexible and that her husband doesn't even want any males coming into the house, regardless if they are there just to visit or help move things in. I tell her that my understanding of her rule was that guys weren't allowed to sleep overnight and that visiting was okay, as long as I let her know beforehand. She complains, "Texting 5 minutes before is too late of a notice." I apologize to her and tell her that it was wrong on my part, that I didn't let her know way earlier that I was coming by with my boyfriend. Regina then says, "Okay, so since you made a mistake and I made a mistake, let's call it even." I tell her that I haven't even heard an apology from her yet, and then she says, "You're making such a big deal about it and being so rude to me right now. You're so difficult to speak with. I don't want to argue with you anymore. I'm older than you, and you shouldn't be speaking to me this way." At that moment, I said, "Okay, bye, thank you," and hung up. Right after the call ended, I literally cried. Am I being inconsiderate for making a big deal out of her being in my room and sleeping on my bed? Oh my gosh. Honestly, this story actually ticked me off so much. Firstly, who does Regina think she is? She's allowed to have her husband there, but no one else is? Regina doesn't even own the house, so why is she in charge of all the rules? Sure, it's common courtesy to respect your roommate's wishes, but when there's blatant hypocrisy like this, I would tell Regina to pound sand. No one can forbid you from having people over. No one can forbid you from having your boyfriend stay overnight. You pay the same amount of rent, you have the same amount of rights. Tell Regina to kiss your ass and tell your landlady that if she doesn't step in, that you want a refund. And if it's not too late, OP, find somewhere else to live. Run, sis. Get out of there and don't look back. That is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed that Entitled People story. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!